existed. The matter has been investigated by the public protector. There's been findings released. It's saturated for a long time in our press. People who spoke about the rogue unit were then fired. Some were brought back. The NDPP has dropped the charges against the rogue unit accused. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I'm the first person to report the rogue unit in this country in 2010. I went to SARS offices, I met They, I met Obama Khashoggi, I gave them a document which was brought in my office about rogue unit. They followed me in 2010. When I booked a room in Hilton Hotel, they would book next door and put devices to listen to my activities in the alley. So they know everything, including how long I take and all of it. So I went to complain there about this conduct. They followed Balula, they followed Zizi, they followed everyone who was supporting Zuma. Zuma investigated the rogue unit and found that there was a rogue unit. Zuma, in his typical way, instead of dismantling it and making sure that these people are prosecuted, he inherited the rogue unit and continued with its illegal activities. Even under Zuma, they operated to pursue the people who didn't want Zuma. The rogue unit, on the eve of Zuma becoming president, and they saw that it was untenable, they provided him with the relevant documents which made sure that he became the president. That's why they developed a relationship. There is no case of the rogue unit which is going to be dropped by Batoi, who is appointed by Pavi. We are reviewing the matter. A letter has been written to Batoi as we speak. We asked her to give us the reasons why he dropped the charges. The case is right. The witnesses are there. They've been interviewed. The investigators of this rogue unit case are fair, very fair about their case. When we announced that we are reviewing this case, they said to us, we are more than willing to help the leadership of the EFF to pursue this case because we've got the facts. And we're not going to allow the law to work in a manner that Batoi is suggesting the law must work. So we are reviewing this case. We must be treated equally in this country. Now, if it was Zuma, if charges were brought, Zuma's case was reviewed. There was nothing wrong. We called for Malusi Gigaba's removal in this country. We called for the removal of that weekend special. We called for the removal of Tlatane. We called for Nomful. We were never told of prerogative of the president. Today is the favorite we are calling for. We are told, we are reminded that the president has got a prerogative. The president might have a prerogative to appoint anyone, but his prerogative must meet the rational test. If the people appointed by the president are questionable characters who do not put the interest of this country first, we have all the right to challenge the president. We are an opposition. We're not a ruling party. Our job is to deal with uncomfortable questions so that we open the eyes of South Africans. So we are challenging this matter, and very soon it will be in the court of law. We have written a letter to the Deputy Judge President Dwan, asking him to open the documents of Cyril Ramaphosa. Because it must not be easy for courts to seal documents that have been submitted to a public court. The courts must never be used to be part of a cabal. If Cyril is not corrupt, if Cyril has not received blood money, why are people opposed to opening of the documents if we have nothing to hide? Why is the media not in court to demand? Because You are the ones who must always demand hidden documents to give to the public. Why are you not in the concept open here? We want our public to see these documents. These are not just documents. These are documents of a state president. Our bank statements, which yes, Malema, they are being circulated everywhere, illegally obtained bank statements by the media. Legally obtained documents by the public protector who are being told, don't touch them. When we started with Zuma, we started the same way we started yesterday with 7. You were all very angry and said we are unreasonable. Go on.
Let's talk about the public protector. Your support for her, you had asked in the past that she must prove that she's not a spy. When the DA alleged that Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane is a spy. Is your support for the public protector linked to the fact that she's investigated Pravin Gordhan and Cyril Ramaphosa? Why the sudden attempt to show support towards her?
We never said public protector is a spy, and we never entered that space. Firstly, we supported the public protector, and when she made that terrible judgment on Reserve Bank and ABSA, which was later overturned by the court, we said it looks like there's a problem here with the type of a person we've supported. But never called for a removal. We said we regret supporting him, but we never called for a removal. Because if we're going to remove a public protector on the basis of the findings, we are not going to have any public protector. We must close that office. The day we remove it on the basis of the findings, then close that office. Because even the most loved Chulima Donsen, there are cases where the court overruled it. We never called for a removal. Public protector enjoys some privileges of judges. They make mistakes, there is a recourse. You can always take them to the higher court, and the higher court has always ruled against the lower courts. Why are we not told that that judge must be impeached because the higher court has ruled against the lower court? The public protector will from time to time make mistakes. The higher court or the courts will review her and will accept the court's decisions, and we move on. She's there for 7 years. We're now establishing a process in Parliament to look at her fitness to hold office. I can tell you now, it has to meet the rational test. Otherwise, the court is going to dismiss what we're doing here. Don't be emotional when you deal with issues of law and facts. You may not like a person, but what does the law say? So in brief, please just know she's going to finish a term. That's what's going to happen. She's not going to be moved. We may not like it. I may not like this judge. I may not like that magistrate. There's nothing I can do except to use my options of going to the higher courts.
Okay. We go to questions. I want to take 3 questions this side. We're going to do it in 2 segments. This side, and then we'll move to the other. By a show of hands, we're going to have some roving mics.
And this side. Okay, I've noted you. And who else? I've noted you. Can you please bring the mic? And the second mic on the standby closer to the lady over there. Okay, go ahead. First question, please.
Can I go first?
Yes.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Malema. Thanks for the I have a future secretary at the African Innovation Institute for the Future. And I also edit a foresight report for Opportunity South Africa. The reason for me being here today is as a futurist, I want to understand the scenarios as they're unfolding in this country. And your intention within that space and the unfolding narrative, where you're hoping to land, where you're hoping to take the youth of this future and the people of this country. So I want to ask, if you assume that the two unknown certainties that have been used for all the scenarios in this country, the one around do we become more unified or do we become more polarized on the x-axis? On the y being, do we grow our economy or do we, actually does that shrink? So we end up with four scenarios. We get where we grow the economy, we all go unified and we great. Or we grow the economy and we become more polarized, in which case the situation evolving now is we split apart. The bottom scenario to that is that we don't grow, we become more polarized and it goes into a civil war. And the other part of it is we actually maintain unity and we're able to actually grow through in a very staged economic development, not really looking to become a global player as such. Which of those scenarios is for you the current reality, and which is the space that you would like to take us to? That's my first question. Thank you, Mr. Malema.
Okay, the question then?
Good morning, Mr. Malema. Just on the matter of the Minister of State-Owned Enterprises. So I've been actually trying to have a look how many state-owned enterprises we have at the moment, and the list is quite long. My question is, do we need a Minister of State-Owned Enterprises if we have a Minister of Energy, a Minister of Agriculture and Transport? So who reports to who? I'm not sure what the KPIs of such a minister is. So maybe just your views on that. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to hand over to the panelists to answer those questions.
Thank you very much. You see, the reality is that we are in a country where we have the rich and the poor. And the poor are black people who are historically marginalized, and the rich are white people. And since 1994, the rich have become more richer and the poor have become more poor. And the only way to get out of this scenario is to create a capable state where the marginalized will be incorporated into the mainstream economy. Because if we do not play any significant role in the economy, there is any difference we can make. Even if we grow the economy, will remain polarized. The economy grew under Begin, very strong, but didn't change anything material in terms of the living conditions of poor masses of our people. So we need direct state intervention, where the state will, on behalf of our people, own strategic sectors and not driven by wanting to maximize profit, create opportunities for all to create an equal society. The answer to everything is an equal society. For as long as we are not equal, and equality does not mean going to the same shops. Equality does not mean going to the same hospitals. We didn't struggle to swim with white people in the same beach. If that was the intention of the struggle, then it was disingenuous. The struggle was about owning the strategic sectors of the economy. And for as long as that has not been attained, we will never have peace in this country. We are going to have an unled revolution where the poor who have nothing to lose one day will rise against the rich. And there will be no one to tell them or to call them to order. Because we in the EFF would have moved to cities, would have moved into parliament, will be enjoying the privileges of parliament, and when we go and try to say to them, we are fixing this matter, they will turn against us and say, like them, you sold us out. You are living nicely there with them. So before we even reach that scenario, there must be an immediate intervention. So this threat of where migrating and leaving South Africa and all of that. It's not going to work. It didn't work. I mean, they left, some of them, the most racist ones left in 1994. They had farms here. They were living large now. In Australia, some of them, from being farm owners, they are bus drivers there. So there's no going anywhere. There's no white person who's going anywhere. We're stuck together here. We must find solutions, all of us together here. So I can't, when you say to me, Julius, are you back at using drugs? No, you're insulting me. Why are you reminding me? Once you see symptoms of a person who says, no, I went to rehab, I'm a new person, and all of that, once you see symptoms of the past, and you say to this person, but why does it look like you are back to your tendencies? And then they say, no, you don't like them, you don't want them. Why do you keep on reminding them about drugs? Because that's what we're subjected to here. When we say to our white counterparts, you have done this, you have done that, please show remorse and participate actively in the unity of this country and sharing of the wealth. They say, no, the most racist person here is Malema. So, let's get an equal society. That is the only solution where all of us participate in this economy, not as stepchildren, but as people who are entitled to this economy. There is no need for Minister of Public Enterprise. I mean, Transnet must go to transport. ESCOM must go to energy. DINEL must go to defense. SAA must go to transport. That way we're even saving money for these unnecessary too many ministries which are costing us a lot of money. I sat with the president like this, and I said to the president, President, please remove deputy ministers, all of them. That man was like shocked by my proposal, like, how? What are we going to do with this people? He was so scared that how is he going to discharge political patronage? Because political patronage is discharged through positions of deputy ministry. They've got no role at all, but they've got bodyguards in Pretoria and here. They've got office in Pretoria and here. They've got all the perks. It's a lot of money. A caring government would have removed all deputy ministers. Whereas deputy ministers have got no defined role. We said to him, if you insist on introducing deputy ministers, give them mandate immediately. Don't wait for ministers to allocate deputy minister responsibilities, because they will never do it. You must say you are a deputy minister of higher education, your responsibilities are FETs. You are a minister of higher education, your responsibilities are universities. Let there be defined division of labor. You didn't listen to that. Yet we are told you've got a man who's got the best interest of the country at heart. Why didn't Cyril reduce cabinet significantly as the first step towards saving this country a lot of money? Why do we have parliament here in Cape Town and not in Pretoria? Because this parliament is costing South Africa a lot of money. Every time ministers come and Praveen sits in the economy and takes a picture, you clap hands. But you never ask the question, how many staff members are with him? Because he doesn't travel alone. He's got a mobile staff members who are spending a lot of time flying between Cape Town and Pretoria. Accountability was going to be more effective, because there won't be a story that, no, the minister missed a flight, the minister couldn't get a flight. No, the minister is across the road. You just cross the road, come into parliament and account. Why can't we introduce a special housing subsidy for members of parliament who must go and buy their own houses like all workers. Every company has got a housing scheme of some sort, where the employer says, we can give this allowance and you contribute the following. Why can't we make allocation for members of parliament to go and buy their own houses? Why can't we do that? Because to renovate these parliamentary houses, as we speak now, we need billions. Why can't we take those billions once off, give to members of parliament to go and buy their own houses, and we're out of it? Whether the house is in good condition or is not in good condition, it's your house, renovate it.
I have a follow-up question, Mayor. Yeah. Thank you so much. So you speak about South Africa being in crisis. And the crisis goes through 5 stages. First, there's a trigger event, then an escalation, then a peak impact, then a resolution, then the closure and the dissipation. Out of that, we either innovate our way out or we find an equitable solution. What for you, Mr. Malema, is the root of the crisis that we're in? Is that root by any chance in CODESA? Where is the root in your mind and heart? Thank you.
So before you answer this question, I just want to cross-check if there's anyone who has the question, because this is the last round now, and I'll hand over to Sifiso to wrap up with wrapping questions so that you can answer that question. I've noted you, sir. I've noted you, sir. Those are the last questions. I've noted you. You are the last. So let me just give all of you, and then we'll close. I'm going to start with you, sir. And the other mic can stand by. Thank you.
Good morning, CSC. Good morning, CSC. It's a pleasure and honor to meet with you today. I'm Sizwe, Breakfast Chamber President. I've got only 2 questions. One question is, we have heard that people are talking about township economy and the rural economy. And hence that is very pivotal for us, because we have seen people moving from various townships to urban areas, and some other people live in their posh houses and opted to stay in the shacks because there's no meaningful commercial activity around those townships and those villages. Now, what is it that you can fast track and change this phenomenon of this township economy has been a bit sense or something that's like a joke now, but still nothing meaningful, nothing robust. And how are you going to make it robust? That is one question. Second question is, we have seen the government pumping big money to SOEs in terms of business rescue and other. But looking at the SMEs that are suffering through load shedding and through the meaningless plaza, and then there's nothing coming to rescue or help the SMEs. How can you also lobby for us in terms of the government can hear that if they're serious about creating jobs, they need to support SMEs. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And then that's the last speaker of the day today. Over to you.
Hello, Mr. It's Ayanda Mhluli here from Independent Media. I'd just like us to maybe for you to touch on the issue of institutionalized racism in South Africa, where we've seen that various state institutions are being used to fight against black business in South Africa. Like for instance, there's been the PIC Commission of Inquiry, where there was a prevailing narrative that black businesses and black executives were the ones who were being targeted. We've seen how SARS has been used as a tool to fight against black people as well, and we've seen how the FSCA in itself has conducted itself. And then I'd just like you to perhaps touch on that theme. What are your thoughts on all of these institutions being used to fight identified business, and what is the role of Chapter 9 institutions in South African commerce?
Thank you so much. As the last speaker.
I just want to ask two questions. One is like, I just want to